Hi there, people. This is Pray Love, and I'm going to talk about another fragrance I got from a trade, and it's very sentimental in my heart because this fragrance is the first fragrance I ever um, tried out from my own will. Okay, so this is it. It's Pi by Givenchy. This is a vintage, tiny bottle of Givenchy Pi. I don't remember exactly the date it was made, but it's a 30 ml. I checked it out. Everything's clean about it. It's the smaller logo because it's one of the older bottles. And I'm gonna get to my little story with the fragrance. Um, it took me years before I really got into fragrances. And the first time was like a young adult, late teenage, perhaps more accurately. And I was in the mall and just minding my own business. And then at some point, I saw the fragrances and stuff, and I was like, this these looks these look very intriguing. And I was really into mathematics at that time, so I went in and I saw that little bottle there with the pi sign, and then I was like, oh, it's got like mats in there. I wonder how it smells. So I was there and I was looking if someone was looking at me because I wasn't sure I was allowed to do whatever. I wasn't sure what was going on and what would people think of me or whatever. I was a bit dumb, like a late teenager. It's okay. Sometimes you can be like that. And then I spray and I was like, oh, this smells really cool. Oh, this is nice. And then I immediately like went away and was like, I I did that, but it's the past, but, and then it took me years before I actually got to go to Sephora and try out fragrances and be honest with myself. I just love scents in general. Um, but yeah, it took me a long, long time, and I always liked scents and essential oils and stuff, but I never got into like actual purchasing a fragrance for me and stuff like that. And now look at me, I've got like a tiny collection. Well, a tiny collection. For most people, it's gigantic. I've got like 40 fragrances, but for collectors, it's a tiny, tiny fragrance collection. Most collectors I've heard of have like 200 bottles. But then, this is it for the nice little story about Givenchy Pi. Now, did I just buy it for you know the 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 feelings I have for this fragrance because it's actually what started me into putting into my brain the idea that I could like fragrances in general. There's that, but there's also that this one is a fantastic fragrance. I always go back to it and be like, this is amazing. It's an almond vanilla fragrance. It's like the almond vanilla combo. Um, It's a fragrance by Alberto Morias, and it has some definite Mémoire d'une odeur vibes. Mémoire d'une odeur by Gucci, which is a nice almond fragrance that was made by Alberto Morias too. And I think that he just masters the vanilla almond combo. It's completely amazing. Pi has got like it's not the fragrance that has the most depth to it. It's a real nice vanilla and almond fragrance. It has some other notes that you can perceive. It's all about the balance. There's neroli, which gives a little sharper, brighter undertone. There's some florals. It's a classic fragrance, and I think there's benzoin in there, but it's super nice. It smells oh like divine. It's kind of like it has definite like cake vibes. like the vanilla and the almond together. It's got something that's like pastry or cake or uh, it's very like comforting and nice. Um, it's warm. It's a warm scent. You know, the coloration of the juice is tells like gives it away. It's a warmer scent, better for colder months. Um, Super nice, probably in the fall. It's addictive. You know, every time I was just testing it, I was like in shops and just putting a spray on. I was like, I kept on sniffing, and I was like, this is awesome. But I didn't want to buy another fragrance. I got too many, so didn't want to buy another one. But now that I got it from a trade, it's perfect. I love it. Um, what else can I say about this fragrance? The concept with the pie thing, I don't really know where it's coming from. To be honest, I'm like surprised by the name because it's a very warm, reassuring vanilla almond. It's nothing like is it like weird or like brainy or it's not a real like I would have thought it was a fragrance for like nerds or something, but it's not that much, you know. I wouldn't see nerds. It's very very sexy, but I think I totally agree that you can be nerdy and sexy. It's not the point, but I didn't think that it would be like kind of an association. I would think that a fragrance that had pie on, like as a, it would be very very clean. You know, very very like immaculate. You know, just because I think that Pi, when I think about Pi, I think about the movie Pi, which is about this computer engineer that's very, very weird, you know, or I think about tons of things like mathematical things. Mathematics are very elegant. They're very black or white. They're very clean. I don't know. It's something that uh, I I never. I never understood like the actual link. If anyone can give me a hint, please go forward and tell me because it's quite weird. I think that when they did Pi Neo, then it's like a cleaner fragrance. Um, like for and it has like this association with the Matrix. But the original pie is very warm and comforting and very sexy and almost it's powdery. You know, it's very very powdery. It I think it has vibes of like Dior Homme Intense, but without the intensity. You know, it's Dior Homme Intense without the more like the woodzier elements, the iris is not there, you know. It's but it kind of gets somewhere pretty near Dior Habitas, uh with the warmth and the sexiness and the coziness of the fragrance. It's just an amazing scent, you know. It's and the fact is perhaps a lot of you would think that smelling that it would be like, yeah, but it's kind of very simple, you know, and it is. It's pretty damn simple, and some people would say it doesn't project that much, and nope, it really doesn't. It's kind of a Dolce and Gabbana the one in terms of projection. It's like not even an arm's length, I think, but it's addictive. So it depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, I think that when you get something that projects too much, you make your presence felt. I like it sometimes, like ombre leather, and everyone knows I'm smelling leather like leather and whatever. But this one is like it's perhaps a bit better for like um close encounters, dates. You know, if you're on a date night, you know, and you want to wear something that's addictive, makes the like makes the person you want to flirt with, to seduce. You want to that person to get near to you. This one is probably it. You know, like this one is probably 100 times better than Eros for the same occasion. Eros is great when you go clubbing, but on a date it's a bit obnoxious. Um, and this one, well, isn't that great when you go clubbing because yeah, some people like when you talk to like it depends on what you do, but I mean when you talk to people pretty close, then if they smell you, they're gonna be very pleased by this one. But yeah, you won't people won't notice that much. And there's so many scents out there. You know, there's the alcohol and you know people the sweat and other people's fragrances and stuff. So it kind of gets lost in the mix. But yeah, if you're having a nice dinner night and date night, whatever, this one is perfect. I would think it's perfect for also it's this one is a perfect fragrance that you spray on in the morning when you want some good time with yourself too, you know, when you want to get a good breakfast and be in the right set of mind. This fragrance is amazing for that too. So, that being said, spread love and spray love. Bye bye.